Many people believe that mathematically probability favors the house, so 9 out of 10 bets are lost due to the law of large numbers in probability theory. Indeed, this is a key fundamental factor in why casinos make money, but it's not the real reason you lose. A few years ago, when I was traveling in Macau, standing in the center of the Venetian's gambling hall, spanning the size of 10 football fields, what shocked me more than the opulent, glittering decor was the frenzied state of the gamblers, packed to the brim with different skin colors and languages. If you ask 100 gamblers, all 100 will unanimously tell you that gambling inevitably leads to losses. Yet before their words even settle, they're already tossing a stack of chips onto the table. This makes us wonder, what is the root cause of 9 out of 10 bets being lost? And what kind of magic drives people to flock to it so obsessively? According to traditional economic rules, casinos shouldn't even exist as businesses. That's because conventional economic rules assume humans are rational. Based on these rules, you'd predict this outcome. If someone offers you a simple deal where you give them $1,000 and they give you $947.40 in return, I'm sure anyone with normal intelligence would reject it. But strangely, you'll see plenty of very smart people accepting such a deal under specific conditions. Most land-based casinos use American roulette, so let's take that as an example. American roulette has 38 numbers, 1 to 36, plus 0 and 00. Unlike French roulette, which has only 1 0, American roulette has both. We won't dive into the specific rules, but you need to know one. If you bet $50 on red and the ball lands on a red number, you win double your chips, getting $100 back. If it lands on black or hits 0 or 00, you lose. If 0 and 00 didn't exist, the roulette system would be perfectly fair, with a 50% win-loss ratio as the number of games approaches infinity, according to probability. But because of those 2 zeros, your chance of doubling your chips is 47.37%, meaning for every $1,000 you bet, you're likely to lose $52.60. That's the deal where you give someone $1,000 and they give you $947.40 back. This small gap between fair odds and casino odds, combined with other services gambling establishments provide, allows them to rake in $5 trillion globally each year. That doesn't even include countless underground casinos, illegal gambling websites, or betting on various events, which lurk beneath the surface, voraciously devouring every gambler's money. So why is such an unequal deal so attractive? Let's revisit the deal model to consider another question. Would you rather take a guaranteed $50 with 100% certainty or an 80% chance to win $62.50? For me, I'd choose the certain $50. Studies show 80% of respondents pick the former. If a friend chooses the latter, congratulations, you're a natural gambler. But in reality, the expected value of both options is identical, so theoretically, people shouldn't prefer one over the other. Why do they? Because the negative impact of losing $50 outweighs the positive effect of winning $50. The second option carries the risk of loss, a negative experience, so its perceived value is lower. This mindset is called loss aversion. This principle doesn't just apply to casinos. It's also why insurance works. If traditional economic rules say the gambling industry shouldn't exist, the same applies to insurance. Insurance is essentially gambling with reversed roles. The insurance company is the gambler, and you're the casino. Take car insurance, for example. I pay $6,000 a year for commercial car insurance, and I never feel it's a waste. In fact, I feel the $6,000 becomes more valuable in this transaction because I worry that if my car gets damaged or accidentally kisses a Rolls-Royce or Bentley on the road, the cost will far exceed the insurance premium. In reality, the odds are in the insurance company's favor. So, despite the gambling element, it's absolutely worth it in most cases. Overall, both the policyholder and the insurer feel it's a worthwhile deal. Let's look at another interesting experiment. In Chicago, 150 teachers were divided into 3 groups. The first group received no information. The second was told they'd receive a bonus based on their students' test scores at the end of training. The third group got the same bonus as the second, but it was paid up front, with the condition that if their students didn't meet the required test scores, they'd have to return the bonus. Guess the results? The first and second groups performed similarly, but the third group, which received the bonus up front, saw test scores improve threefold. This shows that fear of loss is far more powerful than the promise of gain. Again, loss aversion. Loss aversion is one of the key reasons gamblers lose money. You'll notice an interesting fact. If someone wins money, finds a windfall or gets lucky gambling, their subconscious immediately claims it as their own property. Similarly, if someone gets lucky and wins big at gambling but then hits a losing streak, even a small loss feels like their own money is being taken away. They think, I need to win it back, rather than, I've already won so much. Losing a bit is fine. At this point, very few can walk away. If they're lucky enough to win back that loss, that's the truly dangerous start. Every time they gamble afterward, their mind vividly recalls and amplifies that experience, their subconscious forever whispering that lost money can be won back. So they recklessly increase their bets, and the end result is always bankruptcy. This is the gambler's psyche. 9 out of 10 bets are lost, but the memory of that one win burns deepest. The euphoric thrill of winning drives them, like a devil, back to the table time and again. Not everyone at the table is a born gambler, so why do so many people gamble? Let's return to that intriguing odds test. A guaranteed $50 versus a 25% chance at $200. The expected value of $200 at 25% is $50, so the options are still equal, but now respondents show no preference, splitting nearly 50-50. Things get interesting when we tweak the odds further. Would you take a guaranteed $50 or a 0.5% chance at $10,000? The expected value remains the same, but these odds start to ignite the deepest greed and gambling instinct in people. Only 36% take the $50, while 64% opt for the 0.5% chance at $10,000. This shows that humans prefer low-risk probabilities but crave a slim chance at winning exponentially larger rewards, hundreds or even thousands of times more. Probability theory is a branch of mathematics centered on the concept of probability, which measures the likelihood of random events. Take lotteries, for example, which are wildly popular in China. The most common ones, like Delutu and Shuangzaiqiu, offer top prizes of 10 million or 5 million renminbi per ticket. Their odds? 1 in 21.42 million and 1 in 17.72 million, respectively. To put that in perspective, the odds of 3 generations of a family sharing the same birthday are about 1 in 270,000. A black-white couple giving birth to 1 black and 1 white twin is about 1 in 1 million. Having all-male or all-female quadruplets is about 1 in 3.52 million, and getting struck by lightning is about 1 in 1.8 million. You'd need to be struck by lightning 10 times to match the odds of winning the jackpot. Yet, many still buy these low-odds lottery tickets instead of saving in a bank or investing for guaranteed small returns. Why? People are drawn to low-probability, life-changing events. The same amount of money in a bank earns interest that won't change your life, but the slim chance of a jackpot could transform it. This also explains why people fear plane crashes and some avoid flying altogether. Though the odds of a crash are tiny, the chance of death in one is nearly 100%. We see this in horse racing too. The best horse might have 2:1 odds. Bet $100 to win $300, netting $200. But a long shot could pay $100 to win $30,000, a 200:1 payout, the so-called upset. Long shots have high odds, beloved by gamblers, but top horses win more than half the time, while long shots win less than 1 in 200. When it comes to probability, many playing high-frequency games like Baccarat fall into the trap of betting against the streak. If the banker wins a dozen times in a row, some assume the player is due to win next. But theoretically, even after dozens or hundreds of banker wins, the next round's outcome is unaffected. Basic probability from high school about independent events. Betting against the streak doesn't guarantee wins. It often leads to small wins but big losses, sometimes wiping out a month's winnings in a few hands. In probability theory, the law of large numbers, proposed by Swiss mathematician Bernoulli, is key to gambling. It states that in repeated random events, patterns emerge almost inevitably. For example, rolling a fair 6-sided die has a 1/6 chance of landing on any face. With few rolls, the frequency of rolling a 6 might differ greatly from January 6th, but with many rolls, it approaches January 6th almost certainly. Similarly, drawing a card from a blackjack deck has a 1/13th chance of being a king. With few draws, the frequency might vary, but with many, it nears 1/13th. Casinos set parameters like the 0-0 in American roulette to tilt the odds, and with enough players and time, the law of large numbers ensures steady profits. But this is only a key factor in their earnings, not the root of your losses. As early as the 18th century, mathematicians fond of using gambling for analysis proposed the gambler's ruin theorem, terrifying for bettors. In a fair game, Any gambler with finite funds will eventually lose everything if they keep playing. This holds even truer in casinos with tilted odds. The theorem provides a theoretical basis for why gamblers lose, but everyone knows this. Hardly anyone enters a casino with a do-or-die mindset. Most go in with a casual play for fun, or win a bit and leave attitude. Yet, under the dual forces of greed and loss aversion, human nature's demons erode rationality, leading to ruin. The late Stanley Ho, who dominated Macau's gambling industry for decades, never even played mahjong. Yet he was undeniably the gambling king. In interviews, he said he gambled every day against countless people, betting on human nature. The only way to stay undefeated in gambling is simple: don't gamble. But behind this simple rule lies an eternal war between humans and their instincts. The battlefield is the casino, a meticulously designed, glamorous cage. It's not just a place for probability games, but a vast psychological laboratory, a precision machine turning human cognitive biases, emotional weaknesses, and impulses into massive profits. To truly understand why you lose, we must look beyond simple math and explore every corner of this maze, from the casino's architectural details to the neural sparks in your brain. This forms a grand script of magical economics, where every gambler unwittingly plays a tragic role. Let's return to that grand gambling hall. Ever wonder why casinos have no windows or clocks? It's not an oversight, but a psychological tactic called time distortion. By blocking out daylight and time cues, gamblers lose their sense of the outside world. Day and night blur. An hour feels like 3. In this isolated environment, your focus is locked on the ever-changing numbers and cards. Decisions are no longer based on rational time or budget management, but driven by the relentless rhythm of the game. This design makes you forget fatigue, family dinners, or tomorrow's work. You're in an eternal now, where only the next hand matters. Complementing this is the casino's layout, a deliberate maze. Exits are hard to find, and paths to restrooms or restaurants wind through gaming areas. To reach the chip exchange, you pass rows of glowing slot machines. This maze effect maximizes your exposure to games. Every move is passive marketing. The slot machine's victory jingles, the clatter of roulette balls, the cheers of winning gamblers, all bombard your subconscious, tempting you to stop and play one more round. This environmental kidnapping, pulling you back into the game as you search for the exit. Sound and light are the stage's key players. Slot machine sounds, crafted by psychoacousticians, mimic tones and rhythms humans love. Winning sounds, loud, triumphant, with simulated coin clinks, directly stimulate your brain's reward center. Even someone else's win can make you feel, I'm next. Casino lighting, warm and soft, creates a cozy, safe, luxurious vibe, reducing visual fatigue for prolonged focus. Bright spotlights on tables and slots act like stage lights, drawing your attention to the game, dimming everything else. Even the air scent may be strategic. Some high-end casinos reportedly release relaxing, adventure-boosting fragrances into ventilation systems. When your senses, sight, sound, smell, are enveloped in this crafted atmosphere, your rational defenses quietly crumble. You're no longer a cautious investor, but a hypnotized spectator in the casino's sensory spectacle. The core prop, chips. Exchanging crisp cash for colorful plastic isn't just a transaction. It's a psychological shift. Chips abstract money's value. Betting a $100 bill stings, but tossing a $100 chip feels lighter, like game points, not hard-earned cash. This desensitizes you, making bets bolder and losses easier to stomach. Casinos sever your emotional tie to money, dulling your risk perception. That's why many gamblers, after losing all chips, head straight to exchange more cash into game coins until their accounts are drained. Beyond the environment, casinos offer generous perks like comps, free drinks, meals, discounted rooms, or show tickets, making you feel like a VIP. But it's cold business math. They track your spending via loyalty cards, and the free perks value is far less than the profit from your theoretical loss. These gifts create psychological pressure to reciprocate by playing more, hesitating to leave. They foster an illusion of beating the casino, masking the greater cost you're paying. These perks extend your gambling time, increase bets, and amplify your mathematical losses. All this aims for one goal: to put you in a flow or immersion state where you're fully absorbed, oblivious to time and reality. For casinos, a gambler in flow is ideal. Rationality fades, emotions and instincts rule. Decisions stem from impulses, hunches, and the urge to recoup losses, not probability. Casinos lay a red carpet to this state, but it leads to a financial cliff. Now, let's turn inward to the cognitive biases amplified in the casino's chaos. We've discussed loss aversion, but there are subtler traps like the gambler's fallacy. It's vivid in roulette. After 10 reds, many bet heavily on black, thinking it's due. But each spin is independent. Past results don't affect the next. The odds of red remain 47.37%. Your brain, wired to seek patterns for survival, betrays you here. Casinos exploit this auto-correction instinct. You expect reversals after streaks, betting bigger to chase losses or stopping early after wins, fearing luck's end, missing chances to maximize gains.